Where have you been? Oh my goodness me. When that Whipple kicks in, you know it's like a kick by a mule. Fueled up, she's ready. Let's go rip it. Hey guys, Tom here in the Velocity showroom. Today I have a very special 68 Fastback Mustang to walk you around. It's really cool. It's a customer car built specifically for somebody, so it is not available for sale, unfortunately. This one is about to go home, but it has some really cool, unique stuff on it that we haven't done necessarily before in a street series, so really excited to talk you around it, like as if you were standing here with me. All right, so let's start with the colors on this one like we always do. This color is, of course, Wimbledon White. Wimbledon White is a really classic Ford color, and it's a little bit of a funny name because it really is more of a cream than a white. Right now we've got the studio lights shining on it, so it makes it look a bit more white than it actually is. But when it's not under direct sunlight, it really becomes like a darker cream almost. Anyway, it's a really, really pretty color, and again, very iconic for this sort of car. The additional color that we've got on this one, because it's a street series, the customer had the option of doing racing stripes. They're hand painted, and he said, yes, I'd like to do that. And the color he chose is Tour de France blue. It's a blue metallic. It's deep. It's almost like a royal regal blue, and it looks fantastic. Of course, there's a metallic fleck in there, and it just gives an extra level to this particular car. I really like it. I think it looks very classic. Almost feels like Ford versus Ferrari style, kind of reminds me of a GT40 almost, in the way that it kind of sits and presents itself, but really cool color scheme on this one. Very unique also, the only one like it we've ever done in this colorway. All right, so front end of this one, 68. This is the standard looking style for a Velocity Fastback Street Series Mustang. There is a change in the hood, which we'll get onto in a second, but we're going to come down here and take a quick look, walk through. The striping that I mentioned earlier continues all the way into this lower valance, which is part of that Street Series, gives it a more aggressive look, still hand painted. And even here, which you might not be able to see on camera, but behind the chrome trim, the pinstriping continues. So really nice details. Full chrome then for the rest of the front end. You do have inboard fog lights. These are the ones with the orange lamps in them, or the orange lenses, I should say, rather than the clear. You've got the option of doing either one if you build a car with us. And then you also have a full LED headlight as well, a modern LED headlight rather than a halogen lamp. Now, that's the front end, but what we would normally do is we come back around and do the engine bay. However, on this one, it has a different hood. Normally we have a flatter style hood with your turn signal indicator lights actually built in. It's pretty cool. This one does not have that. It has a more, I would call it GT style, aggressive scooped hood. Why? Because we needed the extra space. And the reason we needed the extra space is because, yes, this one has a 3-litre Whipple on it. This was something that the customer asked, and so it's not something that we always do, but when somebody asks and they have a reason for it and they really want it, of course, we can make that happen. And so, yeah, it's got a 3-litre Whipple. This thing produces well over 600 horsepower. The truth is that, of course, when you do a Whipple like this, you can go up to like 900 horsepower if you really want to. This one's not quite at that level, because at that level, it almost becomes unusable, but it's still way more powerful than a standard Coyote would be. It's a Gen 3 Coyote underneath there, and then behind that is a 10R80, which is a 10-speed automatic transmission. The rest of the setup is like the Fastback Mustang that we normally make. So it has a Spec Series chassis underneath it from the guys at Roadster Shop. That's independent front suspension, of course. You have disc brakes all around by Baer, and at the back we have a full baller exhaust. So all of that stuff is what you would typically see on a street series, other than the 3-litre Whipple, which I haven't actually driven this one yet. We're about to go and do it. I'm pretty excited and a little bit terrified. Coming down the side of the vehicle then, some key things to point out when you do the Street Series upgrade. We have a Signature, which is our base, the Street Series, which is the higher level. The first thing you get when you go to the Street Series is the Forge Line rims. If you've seen our stuff before, you know we work with Forge Line a lot. These are the Grudge wheel. They are a 3-piece billet aluminum wheel. We do them on almost all of our Street Series Mustangs unless the customer wants something different. Why? Because they are a great high quality product, but they also look amazing. They just look fantastic. We love the look of them. Gunmetal for the insert color. They just look fantastic. So those are the rims that we went with. For the other components that you get when you go to the Street Series upgraded, of course, side mirrors, door handle, these are all billet. They're made on our 5-axis machine here in Pensacola, Florida at our HQ. We make them, we design them in-house. And basically these give slightly more aggressive look to the Street Series, but they are more functional, higher quality, more durable, less vibration. And then the door handle itself just feels a lot more premium. The button actuation is really nice, all of that good stuff. Coming down the vehicle, for the last thing I'm going to point out on the side profile here is the sail panel. So depending on if it was a 67, 68, there were various different sail panels here and sort of louvers and things like that. This is how a Street Series Mustang from Velocity looks. And this piece here is all billet as well. It's actually the sail panel insert that we make here. As a customer, you've got a couple of options. You can either do, like this one, a brushed aluminum behind, or you can do a full carbon fiber. This customer did brushed aluminum behind. It just, I think, fits the design of this car a little bit better. All right, come back to the back of the vehicle then, and it's my favorite spot. I say this on the videos a lot. Incredible angle for a car. The lines on the 67, 68 Fastback are just insane. I don't know if they'll ever be outdone. But anyway, on this car, the paint stripes continue, like I mentioned. So all the way down, this Tour de Force blue continues. The actual back of the car here is covered, decorated in chrome. It's almost like a piece of jewelry. So chrome trim, chrome rear bumper. You even have your turn signals and your brake lights here, which are LED. They have the chrome surrounds as well. Velocity build badge in chrome. One piece that is not chrome is this billet replacement fuel cap here. Really nice. It's like the old school style fuel cap, but it's locked right now, so I can't open it. But that folds down. It's where you fill the vehicle up. However, you do have the flying V etched in here from Velocity rather than the standard Ford one. You do have a backup camera on this vehicle as well. I'm going to open up the trunk so you can see what the trunk insert looks like, because this is pretty cool. Something that is not just stock. It just looks fantastic, all very clean. Carpet at the bottom as well. Underside of the trunk lid has been painted. It's very neat and tidy, which is super nice. Oh, how satisfying. Right, let's go and look at the interior. All right, so come and have a look at the interior. That's the next thing. And I love this one in particular because it has been done in a very classic and subtle way. The Street Series that we normally offer, people do like a plaid stitch typically, or they can even do like an inserts, woven inserts for leather, which look really cool. But this customer decided that they wanted to keep it really classic. We'll start with the door panel. This is a full leather door panel. It's custom made. This stitch pattern here is just called Classic Stitch. And it's kind of like this pillowed, really standard design. And I don't mean standard in a way that it's poor quality or anything like that. I just mean it's very simple and really reminds me of a 60s, 70s Mustang. You do have, though, this contrast blue stitch, and that's all the way through the interior. It matches that Tour de France blue stripe that we have across the vehicle. You have a billet door release here. That's part of that Street Series, and a full focal speaker system behind this speaker pod. Of course, there's multiple speakers throughout the vehicle, but you get that when you go to the Street Series as well. I'm going to step in the vehicle now and talk you through what it's like to sit in the seat. But of course, you're immediately greeted with a really cool Spark Industries billet steering wheel made specifically for us here at Velocity. Velocity Flying V etched in the horn button, and this black leather is all the way around the steering wheel with that contrast blue stitch as well, which looks fantastic. Behind the steering wheel, you have a tilt adjustable steering column by the guys at I Did It. Behind that again, you have a Dakota Digital instrument cluster. So it looks like the old school Mustang instrument cluster, but actually it's all new, it's all digital. There are two screens that give you extra information. It just runs like a new system, which is really cool. You can see your live speeds, which in a second, we're gonna see if I break the law, or we probably might show you that. But anyway, you can see live speeds on there. You can see your remaining fuel and your pressures and all of that good stuff. You do have light switch down here as well, which is never not satisfying, and that's been finished in billet switch gear. In fact, all the switches inside the cabin have these billet components rather than just stock chrome that just feel really premium and really nice to actuate. All right, so now we're going to talk through the rest of the interior, and we'll start with these seats. I mentioned on the door panel that the stitch pattern that the customer chose is very classic, and when you go to a Street Series, there are a few different options. Very rarely do people pick this, but I think it looks fantastic with this color scheme on the outside. Of course, it's a black Italian leather, looks great, feels great, smells great. It's got a slight kind of texture to it. But my favorite thing, honestly, about this interior is this very simple classic stitch pattern. It's really nice. We're going to skip forward a little bit. There is a button down here on the center console, and if I press it, the lights come on and off. And of course, those are adjustable too. They're RGBs, and you can do all sorts of things with them if you want to. Turn them off for now, and let's move on to the rest of this center console. I will move my phone, which was carefully placed with a wireless charging pad that is on the top of the center console. This whole thing is custom made in-house, designed by the guys here at Velocity, and all trimmed in-house as well. So the black leather, the contrasting blue stitch, nice armrest, and somewhere to pop your phone, which of course has wireless charging. Moving forward, we do have the main area of this center console, which of course houses your transmission, or as I would call it, your gear stick. This is a 10-speed automatic, so you push down on the top and you can adjust between drive and sport. There is actually sport mode, and you can manually change through gears sequentially as well if you want to. Move forward again, more billet components. This is for your window controls, so the windows are fully electric. Hopefully you can see that at the back, but you can push it down, pull it up, all that good stuff, both driver and passenger. And this customer, because it was a custom build, also opted for heated seats. So those are controlled there. Keeps you nice and toasty in the cooler months, which is a bit cold here in Florida today. Above that, speaking of keeping toasty or cold, you have vintage air AC. So this is a kind of modern control module, full modern system of air conditioning, and an enclosed cabin vehicle like this. It works really, really well. It is as good as a modern system, really. Above that, you've got an Alpine double-din touchscreen system. That, of course, has Apple CarPlay and all of that good stuff. Hooks up to your phone. Go up above that again, and you've got the rest of the dash. Now, you'll notice, if you've seen some of the other Street Series, like on the outside of that sail panel, you've got some material options here too. Customer didn't do carbon fiber on this one, so it is this brushed aluminum, which looks really nice. Above that, black leather dash pad again with that contrast blue stitch. And then look up again, we do have sun visors in the Mustang and a full Alcantara headliner as well, which just feels very, very premium. Rolling. We're clear, it's safe. We'll do a little bit of an acceleration. Oh my goodness me! When that Whipple kicks in, you know it's like getting kicked by a mule. Goodness! See, there was that little bit of lag as it dropped, then the Whipple came in, the supercharger came in, and hello! Looking up at Mark, our cameraman, saying, oh my good Lord. Oh, and the noise as well. Spec chassis doing its job. Feel like I've got loads of control, even as we're going 70 miles an hour. What's really nice though is it's super controlled. Like, it's putting me in the back of the seat, but it's not. I mean, I was rolling at 60 miles an hour. We weren't going from a standstill, but it's not scary. Very linear. You ever been on a roller coaster or a ride, or in a fast car that makes it feel like the world is kind of rotating underneath you towards you? This car with this Whipple, this setup does that very comfortably. All right, one last little go before we take it home. Clear stretch of road, both hands on the wheel. Oh my goodness me. It's almost excessive. Do you need this much power for everyday driving? I don't know. If you want it, good Lord, we can deliver it. I don't necessarily know if everybody needs a 3-litre Whipple. Just putting it out there, listen, it's cool. It produces a ton of power. I know the customer is gonna love it because they spec'd it like that and they want that, but it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to handle. Other than that, it's a lot of fun too, though, so I get it. Anyway, this one's sold, but you can now go online and spec one of your own Mustangs on our online configurator. We're gonna put a description somewhere down below or on the video somewhere, pointing somewhere. Anyway, it will be there. You can go on there and play with it and it'll visualize it and all that good stuff. And then if you do wanna build one, you can hit a button and it'll send it to the sales team here. If you've got any more questions and you wanna contact those guys, give us a call. The number will be below. It's also on our website, or fill in one of the contact forms there and we'll get straight back to you. I think that about covers everything. This has been fun. It's the second Mustang today, back-to-back driving, going from 460 to a lot of horsepower. Kind of scared me a little bit, but hey, it was great, and I'll see you on the next one.